What's going on, you guys? So check it right. This past weekend, I managed to start a conversation on the timeline in regards to who is really part of the big three when it comes to SA hip-hop. And I thought, why not bring it to you guys to further the conversation? Now, initially, this all started when I saw that Shane Eagle confirmed that he will be dropping his third studio album, Akira, on the 11th of November. Now, I found it interesting that Nasty, Reece, and Shane were all dropping albums consecutively, that being September, October, and now November. So I proceeded to tweet the following: the big three dropping consecutively, that's hip-hop. Now, man, did this stir up the conversation. So I had some individuals give me some pushback to my post, which I have no problem with because we're all entitled to our own opinions. But at the same time, let's also not act as if Shane hasn't always been regarded as being part of the big three. Now, one particular individual being Real Sihle IV, while he gave me some pushback and responded to my post by saying Blxckie, A-Reece, and Nasty C are the new big three, respectfully. And I responded by saying, niggas aren't really feeling Shane, hey, just because of one album. And he responded by saying, no, his presence in the game. He went quiet when it was time to push harder after that album. And I responded by saying, I agree, he didn't capitalize after dropping the album, but to just push him to the side because of that, well, I don't think we're being fair. And he responded by saying, Somyama came in hot. It's only right it's been top 2 and number 1 most streamed in the last 2-year rapper. And I responded by saying, didn't Shane have the same run when he initially jumped onto the scene? Every artist has a dip in their career or an album that is critiqued harshly, but that shouldn't dictate their whole career. And that's my thing. Are we just gonna write off Shane from the big three because he had one album that wasn't widely accepted by the masses? I mean, just because Green didn't do what the majority of listeners expected it to do doesn't mean we need to crucify Shane's whole career. Honestly, I find it unfair and disingenuous because Nasty dropped Zulu Man with some power, which the general consensus didn't widely accept as well, but he's still part of the big three till this day. And I only bring this up because even Nasty himself ranks that album at the bottom of his catalog, despite it still being a good album in his eyes. And I mean this with no disrespect to Blxckie, but in my personal opinion, he isn't qualified to be in the big three yet, especially in the same class as Reece and Nasty. He's still relatively new in the game compared to Shane, and sonically he's too versatile. I mean, when we think of the big three, we think of rappers, not overall artists, which Blxckie is. Plus, placing him in the class with the likes of Nasty and Reece is a bit premature if I'm being honest, but hey, that's just my opinion. Now, another name that was brought up in the conversation is the hustler himself, Emtee. Now, there's no denying that he's solidified in this game and he has an undeniable catalog, but there's a reason as to why Shane's name is included amongst the likes of Reece and Nasty and not Emtee, and that's because his initial run had more of an impact in the game despite Emtee making a name for himself. Plus, Emtee is more of a trapper than a rapper, with his music also being centered around melodies, whereas Shane is always focused on the arts of lyricism. Now, it's no secret that both these guys came up around the same time as each other, as well as with Reece and Nasty. But when we think of both artists, who is still more relevant? Whose name is still being brought up in conversations despite being quiet, and who is just a better overall rapper? I'll let you guys decide that. Now, this is no disrespect to Emtee either. I mean, the masses and some of you guys would consider Avery as a classic album, but at the same time, Yellow is also considered as a classic album, and I believe he better fits the criteria of being part of the big three. But you guys, let me know your thoughts on this. Who do you think should be a part of the big three? Is it Blxckie? Is it Emtee? Or is it Shane Eagle? Comment down below. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to hit that like button if you found the content dope, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It's on to the next one. Peace.